Now, to look at how global your market is, there are 4 dimensions to think about, therefore. 1, to what degree has our industry, has our marketplace globalized product supply, the supply chain? And to the extent that there's a real drive within your marketplace to create production efficiencies, there's a real drive for product modularization that allows you to get the next level of efficiency, then you're in an industry that's really driven down the product supply globalization side. If you're in an industry that has started to really drive down product innovation globalization, why? Because there's a depth of technology we're trying to exploit that's very expensive and hard to get at, as in drugs. Or because there's a very fast cycle to our innovation process, so we have to exploit those innovations very rapidly, as in consumer electronics, then you've moved very far down the pathway of globalization of product innovation. The third is an industry where there's a real need or demand or drive to globalize demand generation. So if your product is very brand driven and the brand value, the brand knowledge about how to drive that in the market for a premium is key to your success, you'll tend to replicate that in markets all over the world and try to drive these global brands where you get real leverage and value and cost savings, frankly, in the creation and maintenance of those brands. Or it may be that in channel management you have a particular skill, as we're seeing increasingly in the wealth management business around the world, where the ability to manage that channel of distribution for wealth management is really key to the business. Therefore, we've really globalized demand generation in the wealth management business. Finally, and the last place that we'll see globalization occur is around the homogenization of demand in different segments of the customer. This really requires greater income equalization. The rising middle class in India, in China, in Brazil, in other parts of the world is what is going to be the main driver for that homogenization of demand. And we're only starting to see that occur first in inexpensive consumer products, eventually in consumer durables, and it is also working its way back through the supply chain into infrastructure demand, for example, where construction equipment, agricultural equipment, things like that, you're starting to see a real uniformity of customer demand, because whether you're trying to get the best productivity out of an acre of land in Brazil, in Bolivia, in India, in China, or in the United States, it turns out many of the techniques, many of the capabilities required to do that are very much in common. And therefore, the demand among the more sophisticated clients for agriculture around the world are very rapidly moving to a common standard. So how global is your market depends on those 4 factors.